Ladies and gentlemen, most men believe that hydration is a simple act, something you do when you're thirsty, something automatic, something you don't need to think about. But after 60, thirst becomes a quiet signal, easy to ignore and slow to appear. The body no longer warns you in time, and by the moment you feel thirst, dehydration has already begun. What most don't realize is that this slow dehydration, repeated every day, begins to harm the organs that depend most on cleansing and circulation: the bladder, the kidneys, and the prostate. The prostate is a small gland, but its environment is deeply affected by water balance. When the body lacks water, urine becomes concentrated with toxins and acidic compounds that irritate the delicate tissues surrounding the gland. Over time, this chronic irritation can lead to inflammation, discomfort, and even enlargement. Simply drinking enough clean water daily becomes one of the easiest and most natural ways to reduce this internal pressure and support your prostate's health. Imagine your urinary system as a flowing river. When the river runs strong, it carries away waste, keeping everything fresh and alive. But when the flow slows down, sediment builds up, the water stagnates, and the system begins to clog. That's exactly what happens inside when you don't drink enough water. The prostate sits just below the bladder, wrapping around the urethra like a small gate. When you are dehydrated, the urine becomes more concentrated, irritating both the bladder and the prostate. This irritation triggers inflammation, swelling, and sometimes even infection. It also forces the bladder to work harder, increasing the need to urinate, especially at night, a complaint common among older men. What feels like a bladder problem often begins with the simple absence of hydration. Drinking water wisely means more than just chugging a few glasses whenever you remember. It means forming a daily ritual that supports your body's natural rhythms. Start your morning by giving your organs the gift of hydration before anything else touches your stomach. 2 glasses of warm water as soon as you wake up can flush out toxins that accumulated overnight. This single act stimulates kidney function, refreshes the bladder, and gives your prostate the clean flow it needs to stay healthy. Warm water is particularly beneficial because it wakes up the digestive and urinary systems gently, without shocking your body's internal temperature. Throughout the day, aim to drink small amounts regularly instead of large amounts all at once. This maintains steady hydration and avoids putting excess pressure on your bladder. If you find plain water boring, infuse it with lemon, cucumber, or mint for added antioxidants that fight inflammation. Avoid sugary drinks or sodas that may seem refreshing but actually promote dehydration. Caffeine and alcohol also act as diuretics, causing your body to lose more water than it gains. That doesn't mean you can never enjoy them, but balance is key. For every cup of coffee, add an extra glass of water. For every glass of wine, double the hydration. The goal is not perfection, but awareness. Holding urine for long periods is another silent habit that damages the prostate. Many older men, out of convenience or forgetfulness, hold their bladder too long. But the longer urine sits in the bladder, the more time bacteria have to multiply, and the more irritation the prostate experiences. Make it a rule never to delay urination when you feel the need. The act of emptying the bladder completely reduces bacterial growth and keeps pressure off the gland. It's a small act of kindness your body will thank you for. Hydration is also closely tied to circulation. Water is the transport medium for nutrients, hormones, and oxygen, everything your prostate needs to function properly. When you are dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker, flow slows down, and your tissues receive less nourishment. This sluggish circulation makes the prostate more vulnerable to congestion and swelling. Proper hydration keeps the blood thin, fluid, and oxygen-rich, helping your pelvic area stay healthy and relaxed. Think of every glass of water as a way of renewing that flow of life through your body. You might not notice the effects in a day or even a week, but over months, consistent hydration reshapes your health quietly from within. You sleep better because your bladder becomes calmer at night. You feel lighter because your kidneys and prostate are not overloaded with toxins. You feel more alert because every cell in your body is being nourished properly. The power of water lies not in drama, but in discipline. It's not a supplement, not a pill, not a secret recipe. It's the oldest medicine on earth, often ignored because it's too simple. But simplicity is exactly where the truth hides. So, each time you raise a glass of water, remember that you're not just quenching thirst, you're flushing away inflammation, clearing the path for better urinary function, and giving your prostate a healthier environment to thrive. Hydration is not just a routine. It's a message you send your body that you still care, that you're still listening, and that you want to live your next decades with comfort, confidence, and strength. Movement is one of the most underestimated medicines for the aging body, yet it is the most powerful form of daily healing available to every man. After 60, many men slow down, spending long hours sitting, reading, watching television, or simply resting, believing that stillness equals preservation. But what truly happens is the opposite. The less you move, the weaker your circulation becomes, the stiffer your muscles grow, and the more congested your internal organs feel. The prostate, in particular, suffers from this quiet stagnation. It relies on healthy blood flow to receive oxygen, nutrients, and hormones that keep its tissue balanced. When movement stops, circulation in the pelvic area decreases, and the gland begins to swell and stiffen under the weight of inactivity. Gentle, regular movement becomes the lifeline that allows this small organ to breathe again. Your body is not designed for stillness, it's designed for motion. Every step you take pumps blood through thousands of small vessels, carrying oxygen deep into tissues that otherwise remain dormant. The prostate is surrounded by muscles, nerves, and veins that depend on this circulation. When those areas become inactive, waste products accumulate, inflammation sets in, and discomfort follows. This is why men who sit for long hours, especially drivers, office workers, or retirees with little physical activity, often report pelvic tightness, difficulty urinating, or a feeling of pressure. The body is sending a message: move me so I can heal myself. Movement doesn't need to mean lifting heavy weights or running marathons. In fact, at 60 and beyond, your goal should be flow, not force. A 20 to 30-minute daily walk can do wonders for prostate health. Walking increases blood circulation in the lower abdomen, relaxes the pelvic muscles, and keeps hormones balanced. It also lowers stress levels, which indirectly reduces inflammation. The act of walking also helps regulate weight, blood sugar, and cholesterol, three silent factors that affect prostate function. As you move, your heartbeat rises gently, your breathing deepens, and your body's detox systems awaken. You are, quite literally, flushing your system through movement. Stretching is another overlooked yet essential form of motion. Gentle hip and lower back stretches improve flexibility in the pelvic region and relieve pressure around the prostate. Try sitting on the floor, bringing the soles of your feet together, and letting your knees fall outward. This simple pose, when held for a minute or two, increases blood flow to the entire pelvic area. Yoga or Tai Chi are also powerful options because they combine breath control with slow, mindful motion. These practices train the body to move gracefully, not aggressively, and help the prostate receive steady nourishment without strain. Remember, the goal is consistency, not exhaustion. A few minutes of movement daily are far more healing than hours of activity once in a while. Even standing up more often throughout the day can make a difference. Every hour that you spend sitting compresses the pelvic floor, reducing blood supply to the prostate. Stand up, stretch your legs, take a few steps, or do light squats to keep your circulation flowing. This small act helps release pressure from the lower spine and hips, both of which are connected to prostate health. Many men underestimate how directly posture affects internal function. Sitting with slouched shoulders and a compressed abdomen puts stress on the bladder and prostate, while standing tall improves alignment and frees internal space for better blood and oxygen flow. Movement also improves hormone balance, something essential for prostate wellness. Physical activity regulates testosterone, insulin, and cortisol levels. When these hormones stay balanced, the prostate remains stable and less prone to enlargement. Exercise also reduces systemic inflammation, which is one of the key triggers of prostate disorders in older men. Even light activities like gardening, swimming, or cycling on flat terrain provide immense benefits. If cycling, however, make sure to use a comfortable, wide seat designed to reduce pressure on the perineum. Prolonged direct pressure can irritate the prostate. Moderation and mindfulness are the golden rules. The beauty of movement lies in its simplicity. It doesn't cost anything, it doesn't require equipment, and it doesn't depend on age. The act of moving tells your body, I'm alive, I'm capable, I'm taking charge. It helps the lymphatic system, your body's internal cleaning network, push out waste and toxins. Unlike blood, which is pumped by the heart, lymph fluid moves only when you move. Without motion, this cleansing system stagnates, and your body becomes a storehouse of inflammation. When you walk, stretch, or even sway gently, you're activating the flow of purification that keeps your entire reproductive system clear and strong. Regular movement also sharpens your mind and improves sleep. Two underrated aspects of prostate health. Better sleep supports hormonal recovery, while an active body experiences less restlessness at night. You wake up refreshed, energized, and ready to move again. This positive cycle begins with one simple step, literally. And that step leads to the next, until motion becomes part of your identity, not just your routine. So as you grow older, let movement become your daily medicine. Feel the ground beneath your feet, feel the rhythm of your breath, and understand that every motion, no matter how small, keeps your inner systems alive. It's not about fitness, it's about function. Your prostate doesn't need a perfect workout plan. It just needs you to show up for it, to keep the blood flowing, to keep the muscles relaxed, to keep the life energy within you circulating freely. Because when you move, your body heals. And when your body heals, you reclaim the quiet strength that defines a man's best years. What you eat after 60 has the power to heal or harm your prostate every single day. Food is not just fuel, it's communication. Each bite you take sends a signal to your body, one that can either calm inflammation or feed it, one that can protect your prostate or irritate it. The prostate is a sensitive gland that responds quickly to changes in diet. When you choose natural anti-inflammatory foods, you create an internal environment where the gland can function peacefully. But when your meals are filled with processed fats, refined sugar, and chemical additives, you invite oxidative stress and hormonal imbalance, the two main triggers of prostate enlargement and discomfort. Nutrition, therefore, becomes not a restriction, but a strategy, a daily act of protection that shapes how well your body ages. Let's begin with the foods that protect. Tomatoes are among the most powerful allies for men over 60. They are rich in lycopene, a plant compound known for reducing oxidative damage and supporting prostate cell health. Cooking tomatoes in olive oil, such as in soups or sauces, makes lycopene even more bioavailable. A serving of cooked tomatoes a few times a week can lower inflammation markers and even help regulate PSA levels. Alongside tomatoes, foods like watermelon, pink grapefruit, and papaya contain similar antioxidants that help neutralize harmful free radicals before they reach your prostate cells. The more color you add to your plate, the more protection you give your body. Another essential nutrient for prostate health is zinc. This mineral plays a key role in maintaining hormonal balance and immune function. After 60, zinc levels naturally decline, which can contribute to prostate enlargement. Foods like pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, cashews, and almonds are excellent natural sources. A small handful each day provides your body with enough zinc to keep testosterone levels stable and prevent hormonal fluctuations that cause glandular stress. Green tea is another quiet healer. It contains catechins, compounds that reduce inflammation and protect cells from damage. A warm cup of green tea in the morning or afternoon can soothe your system and help flush toxins out gently. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel, also offer deep protection. These healthy fats help control inflammation throughout the body, including the prostate. For men who prefer plant-based sources, flax seeds and chia seeds provide similar benefits. Balancing your diet with these good fats can reduce the risk of chronic inflammation, one of the biggest underlying causes of prostate problems. In contrast, trans fats and highly processed oils, often found in fried foods, pastries, and fast food, do the opposite. They trigger inflammation and damage the delicate tissues around the prostate. Avoiding them is one of the simplest yet most impactful choices you can make. Sugar, too, is a hidden enemy. High sugar intake leads to insulin resistance, which increases overall inflammation and disrupts hormonal harmony. When insulin spikes frequently, it pushes the body into a cycle of imbalance that affects testosterone and other key hormones, influencing prostate function. Cutting back on sugary snacks, soft drinks, and processed desserts can dramatically reduce inflammation. Replace them with natural sweetness from fruits, or even better, dark chocolate in moderation. It's rich in antioxidants and satisfies cravings without overwhelming your system. Your diet also influences your body's acid-alkaline balance. Highly acidic foods like red meat, processed grains, and alcohol can increase irritation in the urinary and reproductive tract. While you don't need to eliminate them completely, balance them with alkaline foods like leafy greens, cucumbers, and broccoli. These vegetables contain chlorophyll, magnesium, and fiber that help cleanse the body and regulate hormones. Broccoli, in particular, contains sulforaphane, a compound shown to protect against prostate cancer by detoxifying harmful substances in the body. When you eat with intention, your food becomes your defense system. Hydration and nutrition go hand in hand. Eating foods with high water content such as cucumbers, celery, lettuce, and melons helps maintain fluid balance and supports urinary health. The fiber in these foods also assists digestion, reducing pressure on the bladder and prostate. Constipation, often caused by low fiber intake, can worsen prostate symptoms by increasing pelvic strain. Including whole grains, oats, and fruits in your daily meals keeps the digestive system smooth and reduces internal tension. It's also important to be mindful of portion sizes. Overeating burdens the digestive system, increases abdominal fat, and indirectly affects prostate function. Excess body fat, particularly around the waist, raises estrogen levels and lowers testosterone, contributing to glandular enlargement. Eating slowly, stopping before you feel full, and choosing smaller, nutrient-dense meals throughout the day support hormonal stability and improve energy. Spices and herbs can also play a therapeutic role. Turmeric, with its active compound curcumin, is a potent anti-inflammatory agent. Adding it to soups or teas can soothe internal irritation and enhance immunity. Garlic and onions, though humble, contain sulfur compounds that strengthen the body's detox pathways and may reduce the risk of prostate issues. Nature has always provided medicine in the form of flavor, we just need to listen to it. At 60 and beyond, food is no longer about indulgence, it's about intelligence. You can't control age, but you can control what you feed your body every day. When you fill your plate with vibrant, whole foods, you're feeding your prostate the nourishment it needs to stay balanced, functional, and strong. Each meal becomes a message of care, a promise to your body that you intend to live not just longer, but better. The kitchen becomes your clinic, your plate becomes your prescription, and your discipline becomes your protection. Stress is one of the quietest yet most destructive forces affecting men after 60, especially when it comes to prostate health. It creeps in slowly through worries about health, finances, family, or the simple awareness of aging, and it begins to change the chemistry of the body in ways most men never realize. When the mind is tense, the body responds as if it's in danger, releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones prepare the body for survival, but when they stay elevated for long periods, they create a state of chronic inflammation. The prostate, being a hormone-sensitive gland, reacts immediately to this imbalance. Cortisol suppresses testosterone production and disrupts the natural harmony between hormones that keep the prostate functioning properly. Over time, the gland becomes more vulnerable to swelling, irritation, and other complications. That's why calming the mind is not just emotional self-care, it's biological protection. The mind and the prostate are more connected than they appear. The pelvic region is full of nerves that respond directly to stress. When anxiety builds up, those nerves tighten, blood flow decreases, and the muscles surrounding the prostate constrict. This tension can lead to discomfort, difficulty, urinating, or even pain. Many men who think they have a purely physical prostate problem are often dealing with emotional tension that has settled in the body. The body remembers every worry, every frustration, every unspoken fear. The key is to learn how to release it. A calm mind loosens the body's grip on stress, and a relaxed body allows blood and energy to flow freely again. Breathing is the first and simplest way to begin that release. Deep breathing lowers cortisol levels almost immediately. When you breathe slowly and deeply through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and exhale gently through your mouth, your nervous system shifts from a state of alert to one of rest. This change activates the body's healing mode, known as the parasympathetic state, where repair, digestion, and hormonal balance take place. Practicing this kind of breathing for just 5 minutes in the morning or before bed can help lower blood pressure, improve sleep, and reduce inflammation, all of which directly benefit prostate health. Meditation works on a deeper level. It teaches the mind to let go of repetitive thoughts that feed anxiety. You don't need to sit cross-legged or chant to meditate. Simply sit quietly, Close your eyes and focus on your breath or on gentle background sounds. Thoughts will come, they always do, but the practice is in noticing them and letting them pass without judgment. With time, you'll notice your body feels lighter, your mind clearer, and your emotional reactions softer. When the mind quiets, the hormonal storm inside your body settles. Your prostate feels that peace, because less tension means better blood flow, more balanced hormones, and reduced swelling. Physical relaxation also helps heal emotional tension. Simple practices like stretching, walking in nature, or even listening to calming music can lower stress hormones and boost endorphins, the body's natural mood elevators. The goal is not to escape life's worries, but to release them. Spending a few minutes outdoors every day, feeling the sun on your face and the wind on your skin, restores a connection with nature that humans were never meant to lose. Nature's rhythm calms the nervous system and reminds the body that it's safe. Safety, both emotional and physical, is what allows the prostate and other organs to heal naturally. Sleep plays a huge role in this equation. During deep sleep, cortisol levels drop, testosterone renews, and the body performs essential repair work. When stress keeps you awake at night, this renewal cycle breaks, and over time, hormonal imbalance worsens. To promote better sleep, create a quiet nighttime ritual, dim the lights, avoid screens, and take a few slow breaths before lying down. These simple steps tell your brain that it's time to rest, allowing your body to follow. Men who sleep deeply often report fewer urinary problems and better overall vitality. The mind heals the body most efficiently in silence and stillness. Social connection is another powerful stress reliever. Loneliness after 60 is a growing issue, and isolation fuels anxiety, depression, and physical illness. Talking openly with a friend, a partner, or even a counselor can lift an invisible weight off your chest. Sharing how you feel doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Emotional expression prevents tension from settling in the body and helps balance your nervous system. Laughter, in particular, is one of nature's most potent medicines. It lowers cortisol, boosts immunity, and improves blood circulation. A good laugh is like internal exercise for your organs, including the prostate. Chronic stress doesn't just disturb the mind, it changes the chemistry of every cell in your body. It tightens the muscles, thickens the blood, and clouds the thoughts. When you begin to consciously calm yourself each day, you undo that damage. The muscles around the prostate relax, oxygen flows freely again, and healing begins. The body and mind were never meant to work separately. They are two sides of the same truth. When you soothe one, you strengthen the other. That is why peace is not a luxury. It is a form of medicine, one that every man deserves to practice. The quiet moments you give yourself each day are not wasted time. They are the moments your prostate, your heart, and your entire being use to repair, restore, and prepare you for the next sunrise with renewed strength and calm. The body always whispers before it begins to shout, and when it comes to prostate health, those whispers are often ignored. Men after 60 have a tendency to dismiss small signs, a weaker urine flow, a sudden need to wake up at night, or a dull ache that seems harmless. These subtle changes are not random, they are messages. The prostate doesn't suddenly malfunction overnight. It gives you clues, gentle reminders that something inside needs attention. The problem is that many men equate medical checkups with weakness or fear, waiting until discomfort becomes unbearable. But early awareness is not fear, it is wisdom. The earlier you listen to your body's signals, the more power you have to prevent disease rather than treat it. Awareness saves not only time, but also dignity, peace, and comfort. The first act of awareness begins with observation. Pay attention to what your body tells you during daily routines. If you notice changes in your urinary pattern, like difficulty starting urination, a sense of incomplete emptying, or an increased need to go at night, don't ignore them. These are among the earliest indicators of prostate enlargement or inflammation. The same goes for pelvic pressure, discomfort during sitting, or even a feeling of fatigue that doesn't go away. These signs might seem small, but they speak volumes about what's happening internally. Writing them down or mentally tracking them helps you recognize patterns. Awareness begins not in the clinic, but in your daily attention. The second act of awareness is courage, the courage to get checked regularly, even when you feel fine. The PSA test, or prostate-specific antigen test, is a simple blood test that can detect changes long before symptoms appear. It's not something to fear, it's a tool of protection. Combine it with a digital rectal exam or an ultrasound once a year, especially after 60. These screenings help catch any abnormalities early when treatment is easiest and most effective. Many men discover serious issues only because they waited too long, believing that silence meant safety. But silence often hides the very things that awareness could have prevented. Prevention is not about worrying, it's about caring enough to know. Awareness also includes knowing your personal and family medical history. If prostate problems or cancer run in your family, your vigilance should start even earlier. Genetics may play a role, but lifestyle determines how those genes express themselves. If your father or brother had prostate issues, make it a priority to discuss preventive care with your doctor. The more you know, the more you can adjust your habits, diet, activity, hydration, and stress to strengthen your defenses. Knowledge, when used correctly, transforms fear into empowerment. Every appointment, every test, every piece of information becomes a step toward control rather than uncertainty. Listening to your body also means responding to lifestyle triggers that make prostate issues worse. Excess alcohol, smoking, lack of movement, and poor diet silently feed inflammation. The body always gives feedback: fatigue, bloating, sluggish digestion, or disrupted sleep. These are not random annoyances, but early warnings. Learning to interpret them allows you to adjust before they turn into disease. For instance, if you notice increased discomfort after heavy meals or alcohol, it might indicate inflammation in the pelvic region. Adjusting your diet and water intake can bring relief faster than medication. The key is mindfulness, paying attention to cause and effect between what you do and how your body feels. Emotional awareness is just as vital. The body reflects what the mind suppresses. Anger, anxiety, and chronic stress tighten the muscles around the pelvic area, restricting blood flow to the prostate. Recognizing emotional tension and addressing it through relaxation, breathing, or open communication can ease physical symptoms. The prostate is not separate from your emotions, it reacts to your inner world. Awareness here means checking in with yourself daily, asking, "How am I really feeling?" That simple question can reveal more about your health than any test, because awareness starts with honesty. Men who embrace regular awareness often live with more peace and confidence. They don't wait for pain to act. They act to prevent pain. They treat checkups as maintenance, not emergencies. Just as you wouldn't wait for your car engine to break before servicing it, you shouldn't wait for your body to reach crisis before caring for it. Routine monitoring is not a burden, it's self-respect. It tells your future self that you care about the years ahead, that you want to age with strength and comfort. Every small act of awareness, drinking more water, noticing discomfort, scheduling your checkup builds a shield around your prostate. You're not just extending your lifespan, you're preserving your independence, your energy, and your peace of mind. Awareness turns fear into foresight and confusion into clarity. The earlier you listen, the easier the healing becomes. The prostate, like the heart, rewards attention with longevity. It doesn't ask for much, just that you notice, that you care, and that you act before the whispers turn into cries. Because when you choose awareness, you don't just protect your prostate, you protect your life. Consistency beats complexity. That's the truth most men learn too late in life. After 60, when the body begins to whisper its warnings, when energy dips and the joints ache, it's not the one-time efforts or occasional big changes that keep you healthy. It's the small, steady, and mindful habits you live by every single day. The prostate, like every organ in your body, thrives on rhythm, not extremes. You don't have to run marathons or live on green juice to protect it. You have to build a daily pattern of care, one that your body can rely on like clockwork. Because the body heals in patterns, not in chaos. And the prostate is no exception. Every morning, when you choose to hydrate, to move, to eat with intention, and to calm your mind, you are reinforcing the body's natural intelligence, an intelligence that has been keeping men alive for thousands of years before modern medicine ever existed. Consistency is what keeps your internal systems communicating. The prostate depends on hormonal balance, oxygen flow, nutrient delivery, and efficient detoxification, all processes that rely on your daily rhythm. One day of effort followed by a week of neglect breaks that rhythm. But even small, simple steps, done every day, begin to form an internal melody that your body starts to dance to again. The problem is that most people wait for a crisis to begin caring. A scare, a diagnosis, or a painful symptom, and then they want a miracle. But the truth is, there's no miracle bigger than consistency. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't do it once a month and expect your gums to stay healthy. The same goes for your prostate. You can't meditate once, eat one bowl of salad, or drink water only on weekends and expect lasting results. Your prostate needs your consistency the way your heart needs its beat. When you show up every day with simple healing actions, you create a sense of internal stability. That stability reduces stress, balances your nervous system, and helps your hormones, especially testosterone, stay in check. A steady lifestyle keeps inflammation low, and inflammation is one of the key reasons men develop prostate issues after 60. So how does consistency really protect the prostate? It starts with blood flow. Regular movement keeps the pelvic area active and oxygenated. When you walk every morning, even for 20 minutes, you're sending life force into the tissues that surround the prostate. When you skip it for a week, that circulation slows, toxins settle, and inflammation quietly builds. The same happens with food. Eating clean one day and indulging in processed, greasy meals the next sends mixed messages to your system. The prostate thrives when it knows what's coming, predictable nourishment, not surprises. That predictability builds internal resilience. Even water, something so basic, works best when consumed regularly, not all at once. Your body loves steady support. It doesn't need perfection, it needs patience. Consistency also means listening to your body regularly, not just when something feels wrong. Men often ignore mild symptoms, waking up twice at night to urinate, a little hesitation in flow, or a vague discomfort after sitting too long. But those are early signals. Checking in with yourself daily, noticing small changes, and acting early is how you prevent major problems later. The man who consistently pays attention to his body doesn't fear disease, he prevents it. This is what I mean when I say consistency beats complexity. You don't need to memorize complicated routines or spend hours researching supplements. You need to commit to a handful of practices and stay loyal to them. The beauty of daily habits is that they create momentum. When you make one healthy choice, it inspires another. A glass of warm water in the morning leads to a light breakfast instead of a heavy one. A short walk after dinner leads to better sleep. Better sleep means balanced hormones. Balanced hormones mean a calmer prostate. The loop strengthens itself. That's the invisible magic of consistency. It multiplies its benefits without you even noticing. And over time, your body begins to trust you again. It knows you'll care for it tomorrow just like you did today. That trust shows up as vitality, clarity, and a calm, strong presence that radiates from within. You see, the men who age with grace and strength don't chase trends. They master routines. They show up for themselves even on the days they don't feel like it. And the reward? A body that works with them, not against them. The prostate may be small, but it responds deeply to your daily choices. Every sip of water, every moment of calm, every healthy meal, they're all quiet messages of care that your body never forgets. Over time, these small acts build a fortress of resilience. So, don't wait for perfection. Just start and keep showing up. Because in the end, it's not the grand gestures that save your health. It's the quiet, steady rhythm of consistency that keeps your prostate and your life in balance.